Hey everyone, welcome back to the newest episode of Jibber with Jarvis. Joining me today, I have a Scott, also known on the internet as ShowlandE. Uh, Scott, tell everyone about yourself, and if you want to, about where they can find you.
Where you can find me, I have no idea. This is the first time I've ever done anything online like this before. I normally just shit post on Twitter, make funny comments, say things I think are funny, and if anybody else happens to find them funny, they're more than welcome to laugh as well. I've been playing the game for over almost 30. Well, I started 30 years ago. I've probably been playing for about 7 years when you take into account all the breaks.
Awesome.
It's, yeah, it's fun. It's fun that way.
Yeah, so I'm thankful that you've joined me today. For those that
Yeah.
have not been here before, what we do is we choose a random commander using EDHREC. Can spin up to 3 times total, but once you respin, the previous commander is lost. We then spin to see if there's a budget or no budget. And if there's a budget, we spin to see what the budget is, which it could be anywhere from $50 to $200. And then we build the deck using Moxfield, because Moxfield is the best deck building website. And Darth,
It
welcome
really
in.
is.
Oh yeah, I love it. So are you ready to
Yeah,
see what your commander is going to be?
do your worst.
The first one that we
You're
have,
kidding. You're kidding me, right?
uh,
You're.
Lynn
This is one of my.
Civi.
This was one of my first decks I've ever built.
Oh, seriously? So
I played Rebels and Max Block Constructed, but when Lindsay got banned, I built Counter Rebels. I helped a buddy build Counter Rebels for JSS when it was a thing. I
so
can't. I have so many memories. I just can't do it.
So you are aware of what this commander is. For everyone else that isn't, like Jarvis here, it's Lynn Civi, the
Oh man,
Defiant Hero.
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If
Yeah.
you played in this game, this was the she caused the Legends rule to be changed when Kamigawa Block first came out. Because back in the day, if you had a Legend out, you couldn't play the other opponent couldn't play a Legend.
Or and then they, I know for a bit it was if they played another legend, uh, it just made it that you had to sacrifice a legend
Yeah,
of the same
but
name.
now it's yeah. But that was before she was even that happened after she rotated out of standard at the time. Like he was a problem for a long time,
Well,
for about a 2 year period when she was standard legal,
crazy.
and
Well,
she's done nothing since then. But I've got so many memories of her.
what this commander is, it's Lynn Civi, Defiant Hero, 1 and 2 white, a rebel legend. Uh, X and tap it. You can search for a rebel card with converted mana cost X or less and put that card into play, then shuffle your library. And for 3 mana, put target rebel card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. Yeah, I can see how this could be a problem, but we're going to
Yeah,
respin it.
basically, it was a race to see who got Lancivia in play first, and whoever did won.
Insane. It's another one because I didn't play back then. I didn't know that this was a card.
Oh yeah, no, this was my friend and I were building a deck for as a joke with the new Rebel commanders from the All Will Be One deck.
Yep.
But yeah, no, get her.
So here's the next option. Uh, Ashad, the Lone Cyberman. This is a Doctor Who commander. 1 in Grixis. The first non-legendary artifact spell you cast each turn has casualty 2. And whenever you sacrifice another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. And it's a 3/3.
I hate to do this. I can't stand Doctor Who. Not to, I mean the cards are fine. I don't have any fault with anybody playing it. I had friends growing up that were big Doctor Who fans, and they ruined the entire show for me.
I'm not a Doctor Who person either, so you're going for the third one.
Yeah,
So
let's see what I get. I don't have a choice in the matter.
yep, Vorel of the Hull Clade. 1 green and a blue. Human merfolk that for a green and a blue, you double the number of each kind of counter on target artifact, creature, or land. So it's
Yay!
encounters matter.
Yay! Simic value pile. Yay!
So I'm just gonna put this in so I don't forget. Bam. And set it as the commander. Bam. There we go. Yeah, counters, Simic, all the good stuff. Now let's
Yeah.
see whether if we have a budget or no budget. Man, this is the third or fourth week in a row. Fourth week in a row that I haven't had a budget associated.
Hey man, it's a heads or tails. I mean, yeah, you'd think it's 50-50, but
I'm not. It makes it easier for people not to build with a budget a lot of the times. So Vorel, I think is this the first printing of it?
Gate Crash.
No,
It was
it's one
from
of the
Gate Crash, I believe.
Dragon's Maze.
Drag. Okay. Yeah, I was
Dra-
during when I wasn't playing.
I'm like, I don't recognize it because it's not a popular one, but I'm like, Vorel, I've heard of it before, but they're using a
Oh,
lot of
it's.
stuff.
Do you remember the last time we went to Ravnica? They did those guild kits.
Yeah.
She was not the face, but she was definitely in the Simic deck. I think the face was like Zagana.
So yeah, I remember them. I don't know much about them because when I started playing again was War of the Spark. So
Okay,
I
okay. So
remember the guilds and the Ravnica legions, but I never, other than buying packs, I wasn't in depth into it.
fair enough. That was kind of like I was telling you earlier. That was kind of when I got back into it. It was like whatever the second Ravnica set was, and then War of the Spark.
Yeah. So where do you want to
Yeah, but it's.
start with this deck?
I think we need to figure out how do we want to win. Do we want like do we want to win dumb or do we want to win through like counter like do you want to win dumb? I think we want to win dumb.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna add the Millennium Calendar.
That's that's funny that you mentioned it. Darth Bash, he's my mod in chat. And I knew that I forgot the L. That's why I stopped typing. Uh, this was the first card he mentioned.
Because we have to win dumb. We're winning. We're gonna double. We're gonna work on timers, and we're gonna win dumb. And I think Millennium Calendar is the funniest way to do it. There's also Simic
Yep.
Ascendancy and Helix Pinnacle.
And
Might as well throw those in just for the shenanigans.
hey, Oi, G Voltage Surge. And I forgot the second N in Pinnacle because I'm not typing correctly today.
Eh, that requires like effort and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So Civic Ascendancy cares about +1/+1 counters, and if it has 20 or more growth counters on it, you win the game. And Helix
Now I want
Pinnacle
to.
needs 100 counters.
I think those are going to be the three ways I want to win this game.
Okay.
Now I'm not sure if those are the best ways to win the game, but I think it's going to be pretty funny.
So, OEG Voltage Surge has recommended a few cards. Don't know how you'll feel about these. Millennium Calendar was the first one, but Trinket Mage, Word of Invention, Fabricate, Inventor's Fair, and then also Seaborn Muse, Awakening, and Bear Umbra.
I'm not familiar with all of those.
So I know Trinket Mage and Word of Invention and Fabricate pretty much are all for tutoring for Millennium Calendar if you wanted to go and be able to tutor for it. Inventor's Fair is an artifact land, which I think also tutors, if I remember correctly. Awakening is the one I have to go and look up.
Oh, I know Awakening because again I'm old.
Uh,
You played that with basically it
I,
lets you untap all your permanents at the start of every opponent's turn.
The thing is, I'm not a green player. I
Oh, okay.
yeah, so it's not a card that's played a ton in Commander. So that's why I'm not aware of it. The reason why I knew all the artifact stuff is because they're blue cards.
No, I get it.
So how did you feel about any of those?
Let's not worry about them right now.
Okay.
I'm sure. I'm sure they're gonna go to the game, but let's not. I don't know how tutor heavy I want to go because tutors can make the game a little samey and a little unfun.
Yep. And then Darth also mentioned doing doubling season.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea.
I could add it in if you want me to, but
Let's
this is ultimately your deck.
let's not worry. I mean, it's probably gonna go in, but let's not worry. Let's worry about the land base first.
Okay, so let's go to lands. What lands do you want to put in?
Well, let's just start with the easy ones. Let's just put in Yavimaya Coast, Breeding Pool, Command Tower, whatever. I don't even know all the lands. Haven't played for so long.
Um,
Um,
Here's where this get honestly, when it comes to stuff like this, I always have to go and pull up my own Mox field and look for decks that I've built in the past to be like, oh,
yeah,
um, now how did you feel? You know about the new Surveil lands, right?
yeah, they're pretty neat.
Were you thinking about the Surveil lands?
I was.
Okay, what's the name of? I just have to figure out what the name of the. It's Hedge Maze. Okay, Hedge Maze is the name of the Surveil land.
Yeah, basically a lot of the cheap. I know I don't have a budget, but let's not go crazy and throw like Tropical Island in.
Well, and that's the thing. You might not have a budget, but with not having a budget, you're able to go and build it however you want. So you could go budgetless if you want, or you could go and be like, no, I'm going to build this in a budget. This is going to be the budget that I follow.
Well, my budget normally for cards like this is always, do I own it?
I
I'm
understand
not a big I'm not a big proxier, but that doesn't stop me.
that. um, uh, Exotic Orchard.
Is that the Fellware Stone, but for lands where you can only
Yes.
have the ones? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And then
That can
uh, Rejuvenating Springs.
that's the
That's the Battle Bonds land.
that's the Battle Bond land.
Yep.
Yeah. Dreamroot Cascade. The Horizon Land. I think it's Waterlogged Grove is always good because you'll never send out a card draw even if you are blue and green.
There we go.
Oh, they're using the Doctor Who command tower.
Oh
Neat.
yeah, how they
I
what
never know. They always do go with the cheapest version, which is
yes.
can be kind of funny when you're trying to find the specific version that you're looking for.
So that are there utility lands that you like adding to the deck?
Probably, yeah.
You like are you a believer in Reliquary Tower?
No, not
Okay.
anymore.
Okay.
Let's add Seed of the Synod. Let's add Three of Tails. Let's add Karn's Bastion. I don't know if I want to be that guy, but let's add. Um, I own him, so I might as well use him. Boseiju, who endures,
Okay.
and Ottawara.
How do you feel about Urza Saga?
Let's see how many one mana artifacts I have first.
So the only it does get you Millennium Calendar. It's,
That's as good a reason as I need to get him then.
it,
Yeah, let's grab a Urza Saga.
my Urza Saga I've played in one deck and it's in there to go and get Divining Top. I don't even care about my Soul
I
Ring in that deck.
I had an Urza Saga and I traded it for like an Enlightened Tutor back before it was reprinted when they were when they were the same price.
Oh man,
I wish I could have that trade back.
I don't blame you.
And I was okay with it at the time because I wasn't planning on using Urza Saga, and I have an enchantment deck that has no artifacts in it. And it was the Mirage version, so it made me feel like all happy from like when I went to a Mirage pre-release.
So any other lands that more like utility type lands that you're thinking about having? Do you care about having non-basic land hate like a Field of Ruin or Demolition Field? Or good old Strip Mine?
I'd almost rather have Strip Mine or Wasteland than worry about Field of Ruin, but let's not worry about those yet.
Okay.
Let's throw on a. I don't forgot if I said it. Let's throw on a Monamo because that can
Manama?
untap the Millennium Calendar.
And then also other lands that have been called out were Castle Vantress and War Room, as well as Inventor's Fair.
Let's
Uh,
do the Inventor's Fair now that I read it.
okay. You want to put it in?
Yeah, let me see if I can find Castle Vantress.
Castle Vantress is the is the Ronabel Drain blue land that lets you scry 2. You pay 4 mana and tap it, and you scry 2.
Nah, I don't think we'll need that one.
And War Room is the one that you are able to draw a card. It's 3 mana and draw, and then you lose life equal to the
Yeah,
number of colors in your commander's color identity.
I don't think I'm gonna need enough. I don't think I'm gonna need card draw for 2 life in this deck.
Okay.
Now I could be wrong, and I might need it for later, but
You are in the colors that could essentially draw cards for very little investment.
yeah, that's why I'm not worried about it right now. I know I said I didn't like Doctor Who, but let's add for mana rocks. Let's add Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Sonic Screwdriver.
Sonic Screwdriver. I need to see what Sonic Screwdriver does. Now, I know you and
Uh,
I have talked a little bit about how you started in Magic. Why don't you tell everyone else, like, how did you start in Magic? Like, what led you into playing Magic? And I know you left and came back. What caused you to come back?
well, I started in like 94, 95. I don't quite remember. Boy Scout, Boy Scout camp, and I just saw some kids playing, and like one of them had a Shivan Dragon in his deck, and I was hooked. I'm telling you, man, Shivan Dragon to a 13-year-old is crap. It might as well be crap.
Well,
I
that's
played off. Go ahead.
I was like, that's why I was laughing. Is he's pretty much anyone that started like 94, 95, that was like between an 8 and 12 year old boy. All they remember
Shivan,
is Shiv and Dragon.
and then my friend showed me like things like Force of Nature, and then I started seeing like ridiculous like merfolk, like river merfolk and like warbarge and merfolk assassin. You just make 3 mana tap, make your character, give your character island walk, tap, kill your character. It you don't even think about these things. It's ridiculous and it's funny as I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's
Uh,
like where I was as a kid playing Magic, completely different than how I am now. But I remember like the same things because I want to say I started like 95, 96, but it was a lot of the whole same thing of like big flying creatures. Of course, I liked actually the angels and demons then, not the
oh yeah,
dragons.
like my buddy showed me the OG Senior Vampire art, and it was the creepiest thing I'd. It was just creepy. Then you saw like demonic tutor or the old the revised unholy strength with the pentagram in the back.
Yep.
And then when fourth edition came out, we didn't know it was called fourth edition. We called it revised.
They didn't really let you know what to call it.
If they did, I didn't read the Inquest or the Scry magazine at the time that told me. Yeah, we
Oh,
had to get our. Yeah, like my buddy and I were discussing this recently. Like we're talking about alliances and how back in the day they thought that Balduvian Horde was the best card in the set over the this little card known as Force of Will. I think it was like
yeah,
number 3 in the set.
yeah,
I
and
bet they.
Force of Will is a powerhouse.
It's not bad. I hear.
No. So I know I took you off your mojo of building. So where do you want to go to next?
Let's
Uh,
see. We added the sonic screwdriver. Let's add the talisman of curiosity because you can't go wrong with the two. You can't go wrong with the talismans.
I'm a fan of the talismans myself. So OIG voltage. I agree with you that they're expensive to activate. But we don't know how much we're going to be untapping right now. So unless we're going and playing the cards to untap, unless we're playing Seaboard Muse, it doesn't make sense to play those. And including them just for something like Seaboard Muse, it doesn't make as much sense because this isn't a matter synergy strategy or even like a big mana dump it in every single turn strategy like a Kinnan or a Thrasios would be.
Yeah. Like I mean, if we want to be silly, we could throw in a Kinnan, but I don't feel like doing that.
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't even know if I want to put counterspells in this deck.
that hurts. That hurts my
Good.
control player heart.
Like I could go heavy artifact and go Staxy with throw in an Urza, but I'm not sure if I want to do that either.
Yeah.
Like there's you've got so many shenanigans that you can do that you don't know what the best thing to do is.
Well, and that's like you got your win cons down, like the three different ways you want to win, and with you getting those down, you pretty much have like the world as your oyster.
Yeah. Like I mean, I can always just annoy everybody and lock them out the game with like Static Orb and Winter Orb and Opposition, but that's not fun for anybody.
Well, it could be
Well, it
fun for
might be
you.
fun. It might be fun for me. No, my main deck I play right now is a stack C deck, so I don't want to keep going into the stacks. That's just mean, but I like it. I bet it's fun. It is fun. Although
uh,
that's more enchantment. This would be more artifact.
so the Millennium Calendar OIG voltage only triggers when you untap during your untap step. It doesn't
Yeah,
trigger whenever you untap it.
yeah. No, that I'm planning more to get the being able to
And
untap it a bunch and then double the
yeah, and
counters.
while that might, it's not necessarily the build around, it's one of the win cons, but you've could also look. We have all three of the main Simic win cons in here. I'm sorry, Simic counter win cons in here. Simic Ascendancy, Helix Pinnacle, and the Millennium Calendar.
Shroud means no one can target it, right?
What?
Shroud means no one can target it, right?
Correct, including yourself.
That makes it less fun for this deck idea, though.
Well, with Vorel, it doesn't target.
On target artifact, creature, or land.
Oh, it is on target. Never mind. I thought it was on each. Yeah, so it cannot. Simic Ascendancy cannot be not Simic. Helix Pinnacle cannot be targeted by Vorel. So
And neither it can't target Simic Ascendancy either, but I'm going to keep Simic Ascendancy because it's only 20 versus.
Yep. Versus 100.
Yeah. And I don't know if I want to bother with infinite mana. I don't want to. I don't know if I want to be that guy. If I'm going infinite mana, I might as well throw in like.
Well, and it's gonna be. Let's be real. It's gonna be easy for you to go and make big mana, so you don't necessarily have to be infinite. Speaking of mana, and we were doing your lands earlier. Did you want to put Yavimaya Cradle of Growth in there?
Yes, I forgot to mention that. Yes, I do.
There we go. How many lands do you normally run in a deck?
Depends on the deck and what I'm trying to do with it. I try not to go higher than like 34, 35.
So what I want to do, just so we have an idea of how much more space we have, we can always remove them and add them back later. But I'm just gonna add 9 islands and 9 forests. No, not 9. I want to put. I don't want to do 9 because I want 18. No, I did want 9. Okay, 9 island and 9 forest.
Mm-hmm.
So then what it will do is it'll give us an idea of when we get closer, like where you might want to make cuts.
Yeah.
So what do you want to add next?
Let's work on other things that can like give us a ton of counters.
Okay. Do you want to do proliferation or do you just want to go and add counters?
I'm gonna worry about just adding counters for now, and then we'll see if we want to proliferate later.
I'm just trying to think of the best thing to go and add. The best way to go and search. Actually, I want to double counters. I want to see if.
Well, I was thinking my buddy had a Braid House, that whatever the attraction deck was called. Deep Blue Skate was a good one in it.
Oh yes, Deep Blue Skate's right there, and that's actually perfect.
We're gonna need to get mana, so Gyre Sage will be important.
I was just gonna see if there's anything else here that might be like a Deep Blue Skate type effect. Those are all +1/+1 counters. All of these care about creatures.
I mean, I'll have creatures, but that's not.
How about a Gilder Baron? 2 in Simic, untap it for each counter on target permanent to put another of those counters on that permanent.
That sounds like it.
It only put 1 counter on the Millennium Calendar, which kind of sucks because it's so slow. But for like you said, Simic Ascendancy, you only need 20.
Yeah. Plus, Simic Ascendancy is really good with like hardened scales or anything that puts +1/+1s. Evolution Sage.
But you want to go and have Gyre Sage?
Yeah, Gyre Sage. Gyre.
Gyr. Yo, I was thinking of Gyre Reach Sanitarium. No wonder I was being wrong. Like, no.
Add green for every +1/+1 counter on Gyre Sage.
Yep.
Okay.
speaking of counters, um, I just thought of this as well. The Ozolith.
Yeah, we don't have a budget. That's a $30 card.
Is it $30 now?
Might be more.
It's $35.
I have a foil one that I hate because I hate foils.
I didn't realize it got up to $35.
Uh, EDHREC says it's $41, so we both might be wrong.
I'm going. The cheapest version for TCG Play right now is $35.47. On Card Kingdom, it's $50 right now for the cheapest version.
Yeah, I just look at market price.
Yeah.
Lols, the market price is more for the regular versus the. Oh, that's because it's the promo pack version.
Yeah, so they always go to the cheapest one. So yeah, even if we go here, and you go to switch printing, 41.43. Yeah, so this one because it's the pre-release promo. Yeah, if you got just the regular printing, it is over $40 now. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I bought one a couple. I was working on a Yashamara Rayhan Leslie Abzan counters deck, so I bought one back when it was like $20.
Okay.
And I'm glad, and it was foil, and I'm like, I hate foils, and I can't find it, and no one has a non-foil when they want to trade me, so it's kind of like, man.
Yeah, because that was after the time where foils started getting bad.
Oh, foils, in my opinion, foil in a post-collector booster world, foils are worthless.
Oh yeah, they
Not
are.
worthless,
Uh,
not worthless, but they're worth the same amount as the non-foil, if not a little bit less. I remember the days when foils were actually rare. Urza's Legacy, foils for their first time, it was ridiculous.
oh yeah, these foils have tanked so much in value. It's not even
Yeah,
funny.
no,
Um,
it's a little funny.
so we've now gotten some insight on how you build your deck. Uh, what is your deck building process and deck building philosophy normally?
Um, Come up with a funny way to win, get about 30 cards in, realize I can't play any with any friends, and then stop. You should look at my Mox field right now, man. It's like 30, there's like 30 decks that are like half full, half done. Um, yeah, no, I've got a bad habit of that. But yeah, so let's see where we at so far.
We're at about 47 cards because we finished the land base. So you have
Oh yeah.
12. You have
Oh,
12
oh.
non-lands.
I'm doing better than normal. Let's be dumb and add Vortex Master Raider.
I don't know if that's being dumb. I think that's
Eh, it's mean.
so.
But yeah, no, I know.
Like,
Anything good, anything with counters is really good.
like I don't know if you know a ton about me. I'm gonna change this so people can read what it says. I'm okay with being mean. This doubles it, kind of like doubling season
Yeah.
one. Uh, it
Amongst
has
my friend group, my old friend group back home, they're like, you like building decks to make yourself the villain. I'm like, well, it's you guys, so I don't care. But random people on the internet, I got to be nice-ish, I think.
I'm the villain no matter what I'm playing, so I cannot. Well, I could kind of commiserate with that.
Like I was building a talk show deck, and my buddy's like, what the hell are you doing?
Uh, that's me too. And then I
I'm
realized
like,
I'm like I stream most of my games now. I can't build Tox roll.
but it's a giant slug. He's hilarious, but he's really mean. I'm like, but slug.
But he's 7 mana.
Yeah, he's still ridiculous. I don't think it matters.
Well, that's what you're like. But it's 7 mana. It's not that bad. And blue can't ramp.
Oh yeah.
Who
Oh,
who cares about black being able to ramp?
Let's throw a Hydroid Crisis in there. A little bit of card draw, a little
Okay.
bit of counters.
When this card was terrorizing me in standard.
Pardon me. Uh, did we throw an Evolution Sage down?
I
I
did not put an
forget.
evolution stage, but I'll add it now.
Yeah, Evolution Sage is really good because I like lands. I like playing lands in my Magic decks. And when I play lands, I get counters, and that's normally pretty helpful. I heard.
Yeah, definitely can get all that proliferation on.
Yeah, let's throw a 3 visits and a Nature's Lore. Some more mana ramping.
So I'm guessing green is one of your favorite colors.
Most of my decks are green and something else.
So what's your favorite color combination?
Honestly, it's probably. I mean, I've been playing red green since I was 13 years old, and it's hard to get away from that.
Yeah, when you've done it for so long.
Yeah. When in doubt, also red and green is the color of monkeys,
It is.
and I mean monkeys are the best animals. So until they have red pandas in the game,
But they don't even call it. They've had red panda like creatures, but they haven't called them red pandas. They've always called them something else.
which means they're not red pandas.
Yeah.
It's a true shame. What the heck's this? Eareth of the Healing House? Sorry, I'm looking at EDHREC because I don't know anything.
Uh, Let me. It's
IORETH.
from
It's Lord of the
Lord of the
Rings.
Rings. So it's an untapper that could untap any of your permanents or untap two of your legendary creatures.
That seems really good.
Do you want to put any other ramp spells in? Frank, I'm doing fantastic. Hopefully, you're doing good as well.
Let me look. I don't even know what. I normally just throw in like a couple.
Okay.
Most of my, like I said, my big deck right now has like 8 to 10 ramp spells.
And
It's a
Darth
lot, and it's a lot of enchantment based.
and Darth said he thinks he saw me flinch. It's because you said Gruul's your favorite color combination. Um, Gruul is my least favorite. I am a Dimir player, and when I was a kid, I was an Orzhov player.
I mean,
So I'm
yeah, I've
so I've kind of been in Esper my entire life.
sounds like it. I don't think I have a single Esper deck or deck idea right now.
I don't build Esper and Commander because I know how mean I would build it. So the only Esper, well, in regular Commander, so the only Esper deck I have is actually Pauper Commander, and it's a mean deck.
Well, that's good.
It's a Quasar, Augur of Agonies.
Not fair. Is that the cephalid thing above her?
Yeah, the Cephalid Advisor that whenever I draw a card, target player loses a life and I gain a life.
Yeah, I'm sure that's really gross.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I want to? I mean, we might as well bother. We might as well add Trinket Mage and Fabricate. Bala Get Recovery is also good. I like the MDFCs.
I do as well. Dak and Blackblade Landfall? And have to go and run an Esper deck for me.
That might work. That might be funny. Rings. Let's add a Rings of Brighthearth.
Okay. Rings of Brighthearth would actually be pretty good in here. Um,
That's
just because you could go and trigger the Millennium Calendar.
that's what I was thinking. Let's rock. I don't know if I have the mana to get it out fast enough. Let's throw an Unwinding Clock in there because you can't go wrong with that.
So if you're going for that untapper, did you want to put Seedborn in?
I don't know if I want to do it in creature form.
The reason why I say Seedborn is because Unwinding Clock only cares about artifacts, so it really only hits your uh it only hits your artifacts, so it really only hits your Millennium Calendar, your mana rocks, and a couple lands. Where Seedborn will go and hit everything for you.
Yeah. We'll probably add Seaborn for now, but let's also throw on Voltaic Key and Manifold Key.
Okay. Yeah, and one other thing good is say you don't really care about Seaboard Muse, uh, it can act as a target for removal for your opponents.
Yeah, that's true. Um, as my buddy would say, YOLO, fuck it. Let's add a one. Let's add a One Ring.
You're not gonna ever complain about the One Ring.
Oh, I'm gonna complain about the One Ring, but
Well, talking about complaining about cards, my favorite question to ask: if you could ban one card in all of Magic, it cannot be played in any format ever again. It's banned everywhere. What card would you ban?
I think I'd ban the fetch lands.
Fetch lands? Okay, I'm on board with that.
I think it warps. I think it warps deck design so much to make things unfun.
Okay, I'm on board with banning the fetch lands, much for that same reason. Um, it takes a little bit of the skill out of the deck in competitive Magic.
Well, it's not necessarily it's not a skill issue because I mean every the thing is it just makes your decks 4 to 6 cards fewer in 60 card formats because
Yep,
you're gonna run them so you might as well.
and
It's just
hey, if I wasn't giving a meme answer, which my meme answer is the one that Frank said, which is Basic Forest, uh, my real answer
uh,
would be fetch lands. So
yes, it would have to be something that actually hits multiple formats. And I think the fact that it would hit modern, it would hit commander, it would hit legacy. I think that matters, and I think because I think I remember the days when like enemy fetch lands when they came out in Apocalypse, like everybody threw up their hands, like, "Oh my god, these are the greatest things ever!" Because we saw the Tempest fetch we saw the Tempest lands, and they were terrible. I, I know I'm an old man that yells at clouds, but sometimes I think the man is too good today.
um, that has been a complaint that has come up multiple times, especially for standard, especially right now. The fact that you have multiple lands that can go and tap for 2 colors of mana and they're all playable.
But I also don't think that they designed like the surveil lands knowing that the triomes from Capenna would still be legal.
like they didn't when they did the 3 year rotation, they didn't think they weren't aware the when they designed New Capenna, they weren't aware that they were going to a 3 year rotation.
Yeah, so I it's kind of like as my buddy told me, there was that almond cat block thing where like the thicker cat combo was not something they tested for, and it destroyed the format within like a week because they just didn't test for it. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now.
Oh yeah, and OAG voltage. I understand what you're saying that you think fetch lands are integral to offsetting the variance inherent in the game. However, that's the problem. Uh, is that this is a game of variance, and when in competitive formats you take your 60 card deck anywhere down from a 60 card deck down to a 52 to 56 card deck,
Although
it's
in
a
his
problem.
defense, they said the same thing about Street Wraith back in the day when it came out in Future Sight, and it didn't see that. Its play wasn't that ubiquitous back in the day. The 2 life to cycle a card.
Yep.
I don't know. There's so many people who said the sky has been falling in Magic probably since the internet with the dojo.
Yep. I'm just not a person where I think an argument for something not being banned, being integral to getting rid of variance is a good argument because we play a game of variance for a reason. It's fun. And Darth remembers when Dredge wasn't a problem. Well, remember when Dredge wasn't a problem? Me neither. Okay, Darth, I understand. Hey, I never really played with Dredge, but I do remember how many people freaked out about Hogak.
So what? You'd want to ban Mindslaver and the Centriplets? I'm
Oh,
not con-
I would never buy it.
Well, I'm just
Oh,
reading the
oh,
comment.
Frank.
I'm not really. Yeah.
Well, Frank doesn't really think anything should be banned. And let me be clear with this. I don't think anything should be banned either. It's more like if there was one thing to ban, that would be the thing I would ban. If like, hey, you have to do it, no choice. You have to choose a card or a set of cards. Uh, and there aren't many people that would want to go and ban Mindslaver and Centriplets, even though I think they're hilarious.
Well, you're an expert player at heart, so of course you like the triplets.
Or like Luigi Voltage mentioning banning extra turn spells. I was an extra turn spell player when Alrund's Epiphany was legal.
Man, they're fun.
I played Time Sieve in one of my commander decks.
I mean, if you play Tivit, you might you that's how you win with
Uh,
him.
oh no, it's 5 color treasures,
Oh, okay, that'd do it too.
and I win with that and Dockside Loops.
Oh boy, I have my one dock side. I've yet to put. I had a deck I was going to put it into, but then I just stopped building the deck again.
I understand how that goes, but
I'm telling you, man. If you look at my Mox field, it's got like let me send you the link.
definitely agree with you, Frank. It definitely has.
You'll see a just a graveyard of funny deck ideas.
My in my spell in my Mox field, you'll see decks I have built. You'll also see decks that I have the decks I have built that I play, decks that I have built just for stream. There's quite a bit, but I see what you're talking about here.
Yeah, it's full of shenanigans, and even my deck that I actually have built, I haven't even transferred over to. Moxfield yet because I've been meaning to slowly upgrade it, but I just haven't had the agency or desire to do so.
I understand. So,
All right, back to abandoning the deck and not my
yeah.
sad life of not being able to play the game. We're we're being mean, so let's add Mystic Remora and Ristic Study.
Speaking my language. Wait, what?
What? Huh? Huh? What? Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea. Let's go. Let's add a free from the real.
Do you want to play the card that goes with it?
Which one? You talking about Pen and Zora, or I was just thinking about using that on. There's a couple cards that can go on.
I was thinking Bloom Tender.
I mean, that'd only get me 2 mana. So
That
would it?
well,
Would
it
it
makes you
go?
infinite green mana.
I mean, it's probably as funny as anything else. But I'm also worried about getting blue mana as well.
Yeah, the only reason why I'd only make infinite green is because you'd have to use the blue from it to
Yeah,
do the thing with free from the real.
yeah. I know people were doing Birds of Paradise and that word failing.
Birds of Paradise is a good card.
Yeah, I know. Let's throw a bop in there. That's one of my favorite cards of all time. I almost bought an artist proof of an OG one when I was at Gen Con last year, but I didn't have that kind of money. Let's add a Techathol, Inquiry Dominus.
Yep. The blue Dominus from 1.
Yeah. If you proliferate twice instead. I think that and Contagion Class would be really mean
Oh,
and funny.
what's the other one?
Contagion Engine?
Contagion Engine? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. How am I doing so far? I'm not even paying
You're
attention.
at 68 cards right now.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, Frank, I always at least finish the brewing idea. I never leave a deck uncompleted. There's only been one that I've ever left completely uncompleted, and that's because I didn't want to put that kind of brain power in. And it was actually going to be a Volo deck. But
Honestly, Mock Shield makes it so easy. I just think of cards, I just type it in, and then if I'm actually feeling saucy, I'll go through my collection. But
well, like
the odds of me wanting to do that are slim.
the deck I just did today, that I just brewed today, that I'll probably build in the future is the new Niv Mizzet. But it's Niv Mizzet, all cards in the deck. Oh well, it's a Niv Mizzet Primal Surge deck. So all the cards other than Primal Surge are permanents. But all the cards other than Niv Mizzet, Primal Surge, and Leyline of the Guild Pack are exactly two color identity. So
Okay.
so quite a few restrictions I put on myself for that deck. And
Seems
thank you
like
for following.
full of shenanigans.
Uh,
Might as well. Let's see. Let's go with Kiora's followers.
another untapper. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you have enough mana, you just get untappers with Millennium Counter. You could go and get it up there quite fast.
that's kind of what I'm hoping for. We got to get some removal in here, so let's do the Beast Within Pongify Cyclonic Rift shenanigans. Oh, I'm sorry, did I not say Cyclonic?
Hey, I love Cyclonic Rift. yet again. Uh, Oi G Voltage mentioned Vizier of the Tumbling Sands. I have to look to see what that card does because I do not know.
I would have to do the same. What's it do, boss?
Vizier of Tumbling Sands, not of the. What it does is untap another target permanent, has cycling for 1 and a blue, and if you cycle it, you can untap a target permanent.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Okay,
Let's throw a growth spiral in.
good card. So there is another part of that I like to do. So obviously you love Magic, and I know we've talked to you also like D&D. What is something that isn't Magic related or Wizards of the Coast related that you also enjoy doing? Another hobby of yours?
Well, I was watching AEW before I hopped on stream with you, so I'm a big wrestling guy. And I haven't been playing Magic lately, so I've been doing a lot of Lorcana, the new Disney card game.
Yep.
I don't know if you've played that, but I've been a Disney fan longer than I've been playing Magic, so it's kind of like
I have
it really
Lorcana.
hit.
Yeah, I have Lorcana sitting right on top of my Disney, right on top of my Magic cards.
I'm sure you can't see it since I've got all the lights turned off in here, except for my ring camera light. But I've got the complete set, but both complete sets above me to my right, and I've got all the other than the D23 promos, I've got all the promos so far.
Nice.
That's that's been fun training with Germany.
Lorcana is a really great card game. I love how simple it is, but it's still
Yeah.
complex enough to go and make it that it's worth playing.
The only thing I don't like is no one at my local game store that I go to laughs at my Disney puns.
My wife told me I became 10 times funnier once I had kids, so I'm used to people not laughing at my jokes because she didn't start laughing at them until we had kids.
I'm used to people laughing at my jokes. It's just that there it's a very sweaty game store, which I like for other things, but Lorcana is my game I want to play for fun. I'm not here to compete. I'm here to goof off, and I'd rather just let's play a game of Lorcana and watch a Disney movie in the background.
That is that's a ton of fun. That sounds like a great day. Um, Other cards options. Well, first of all, Darth Vash is also a huge pro wrestling fan, so he'll talk about pro wrestling sometimes. I have no idea what he's talking about because other than watching it a couple times with my cousin growing up, I don't know much about it. Because never was my thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, yeah, that happened. Nothing wrong with it. It was. I was
uh,
a young kid. I was a young kid. Hulk Hogan was the man. And then I was in high school. Stone Cold and The Rock were the man. And I just kind of just never left.
of course,
There were times that
uh,
there were times I almost did, but like it's there's enough cool stuff about it. You
I
just kind of
I still tried pulling off the wrestling moves as a kid,
oh, of
like
course. I
all
mean,
young boys did.
it'd be weird if you didn't.
But
But like I got really like when the WWE was really bad a couple of years ago before AEW took off, I got really into the Japanese wrestling.
okay,
And now most of the Japanese guys that I followed back then are coming over to the States, and it's it's just not the same. It's just I saw you 5 years ago when you're at your best. Now you're getting older and you're slowing down, and it's just not the same.
yep.
Injuries,
So,
they'll get everybody.
I believe. Trust me, I know. Getting old sucks.
Dude, it is overrated. It is terrible.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. Um,
Let's throw let's throw on a Croatian grip.
okay. Another a couple other cards that were recommended. I don't know how
I
you.
need a way to I need a way to protect my Millennium Calendar.
Uh, Counter spells are gonna be your only way, probably. But
I was gonna go with some shenanigans with like heroic intervention.
oh yeah.
Um,
Isn't there one of like the new? It's not Cameo Safekeeping. Is it?
Cameo Safekeeping would work because it gives it hexproof and indestructible.
But is that any permanent or just creature?
I'm looking at it right
It is for
now.
a permanent.
Target
Okay.
permanent you control gains hexproof.
Now, other cards that were recommended were these we were talking about removal then. What Frogify as well. I'm not a huge fan, but Imprisoned by the Moon. Uh,
I don't like that one because it can take out opponent's commanders, and that's not fun for everybody.
you and I played two different games, my friend.
I have it in my other deck with Darksteel Mutation. I'm used to it. But it's just one of those like
Another one that I don't know what it is. I have to look up. It's Fable of Wolf and Owl.
I'm not familiar with that one. That sounds
It is from Evening Tide, which makes sense. Whenever you play a green spell, you put a 2/2 green wolf into play. Whenever you play a blue spell, you get a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying. I don't really know if that's what we're going for there, Darth, but I know you like those kind of cards.
that's neat, but I don't think that's not fitting how I'm gonna goof
Yeah.
off with this deck.
What's the name of the card that I love playing? It's the one that has Foretell that whenever the next non-token permanent no, it's whenever the next creature would come into play, it comes into play as a copy of target creature instead. I can't think of the name of it, but I
I can
played.
just be let's be mean. Let's just do dramatic reversal and Isochron
Okay,
Scepter.
that's fine. But the reason why I was bringing that up is because you say you don't like messing with people's commanders that much. I played that card in my mono blue deck to go and target my opponent's commanders to stop them from
Oh
playing
yeah.
it as a commander. And
I mean, I was playing a game against a guy that I used to work with, and I dropped and I think I dropped it in prison on the. It was Kiki G. He was playing a Kiki Jiki deck. I dropped Imprisoned in the Moon on his Kiki Jiki. He's like, well, I got nothing. He gets scooped up. And it's just not fun. That's one reason I don't like 1v1 Commando.
I don't typically play Commander 1v1. Mystic Reflection, thank you, Darth. Yeah, Mystic Reflection is the card I play there. People play it as a combo card. I play it as a hate card. And actually, I know you were really trying to avoid infinite mana, but if it ever got to that point with Dramatic Reversal and Isochron Scepter, that does get you to the
I didn't
point.
say anything. I didn't say anything about it trying to avoid it. I'm just saying, let's be careful.
Yeah, well, I'm like that is since you're not really running tutors, that's one that you can run to go and get the infinite there.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a couple tutors, but we're not going crazy.
Yeah.
But because we have the ability to stay on a Walking Ballista, I own it, so I don't feel bad about it.
You want Walking Ballista?
Hell yeah.
I'm never opposed to Walking Ballista. Oh, Darth, we already had Gilder Baron in the deck.
Throw on a Spike Weaver.
Spike Weaver.
I think I've got enough counter shenanigans that I can have fun with that.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I don't know if you're familiar with that card or not.
I was not, but I just did a quick read through on it.
Do we know when the Fallout stuff's coming out?
I do not know.
All right,
Probably
so I
not
won't add
until.
it.
Probably you could add it now, but it's probably not coming out until like Mayish
Yeah,
or June.
because that the Rad Storm is hilarious. The storm spell that proliferates.
We could add it onto it if you want to.
Yeah.
Darth thinks fall is March. I don't know.
I mean, it's perpetual hype, so next month wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
Well, May's gonna be the standard set, so it can't be May actually.
didn't Murders of Karlov Manor just come out?
It came
Like
out
today?
today
Or
was the arena. Oh, yesterday was the arena release. Last Friday was the
was the
pre-release.
pre-release, so it doesn't technically come out until Friday.
Well, It's legal.
technically.
It's legal now, because they changed legality to be pre-release date. It's just
It's
not.
the no, it's not the pre-release date. It's the day you have the card. So like
Yeah.
the Magic ambassadors could show up to a tournament like a month ago with those cards.
No, they had to be legal. No, would have had to be legal. It would have had to been the pre-release date. It would have been before then.
Are we sure about that? 'Cause I thought
Yeah.
it was as soon as you had the cards.
No. Yeah, it was the yeah. It's the pre-release. Um, I only know that because of keeping track of it, and I know quite a few of the Magic ambassadors. Because they're not. Well, they get the product and they're able to open it beforehand. It's more just for them to
I
make content with it than anything else.
yeah, I don't think many of them are top tier. I mean, they're very good at Magic for being able to do what they do, but I don't know
Well,
how many of them are going to pro tours and winning the whole thing.
there none of the pro tour competitors, but there are ones that go to RCQs
Yeah.
and top eight RCQs on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, I don't have the mental ability to top it to even play tournaments anymore. Like I said, I just get I'll build a deck and I'm actually further along than I normally am. Because
Making progress.
oh yeah, let's see. I got trying to think of anything that I'm.
So, what other kind of cards
I'm
did you
not
want to
scared.
have in here?
I'm
The
just
other
trying to. Go
I
ahead.
want to bring up Awake in the Woods was mentioned as a card, and the reason why it was mentioned was because it creates more permanents for you to tap for the Millennium Calendar. Awake in the Woods is the one that it makes a bunch of Dryad Arbors essentially.
Oh, that's neat.
It's X green green, and you create X1/1 green forest Dryad land creature tokens.
Yeah, let's go for that. Let's also add Dryad Arbor. And let's add Green Sun Zenith.
And OG Voltage, I'd also recommend Intruder Alarm, um, because of the
Am I putting enough creatures into play where that'll matter?
well, just the Wake in the Woods with Intruder Alarm, with all those Dryad Arbors out could be a lot. Right now, you're not playing it. You're at 15 creatures currently,
Yeah.
so Intruder Alarm
And I
might
don't
not
and
matter.
I'm not seeing a lot of ways to make
Yeah,
counter tokens.
correct.
It's not a bad idea, but I'm just trying to think of what the deck is doing.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think Intruder Alarm is the best add for the deck. Not with how it's currently built.
Yeah. Did we add Pongify and Rapid Hybridization?
We added Pongify. We did not add rapid hybridization. I'll get that
Might
figured
as
out.
well.
It's rapid, not rapid. Why did I want to say it was rapid? I don't know. Just blame it on it being the day.
I sounds legit.
Yeah, Intruder Alarm is definitely something that you'd have to lean into the combo for.
Yeah. Let's add the tutors, worldly and mythic and mystical. I'm not sure they'll matter, but
Come on, you cannot type today, can you?
Mm.
I'm just talking to myself. Like, I'm just messing this all up. So, speaking of creatures, I know we're not creature heavy right now. What is your favorite creature type?
It's gotta be monkey. I mean, I'm a huge monkey fan.
Monkey? That's a unique one.
I don't know if it's just because monkeys are my favorite animal. Monkeys are one of my favorite animals, so this is I always have a bias towards them. I was disappointed when Ragavan was released. He was really good. I'm like, I'm not spending $80 on a card that I just want because he's a that I just want because he's a monkey.
I
Like,
can respect that.
I mean, but then I'm also the guy that bought a box of Jumpstart specifically to get the
Kiba.
Kiba.
Yeah.
So don't ask me to explain my decisions in my life. Let's go with. I forgot if we added it. Let's add Tezzeret Gambit.
Desert Scammer, okay. Oh, boy, we already do have Fabricate in there. And Trinket Mage.
What's Tezzeret the Seeker?
Tezzeret the Seeker is a planeswalker that can seek, as it says,
Well, that's
artifacts.
that narrows it down.
Well, seek as it says, artifacts.
Sergeant Villar. I wasn't playing during this block. Might as well. Whew.
And having mystical tutor, having worldly tutors in there is good. So, say you want to get your seedboard muse, that gets a seedboard muse for your OG voltage, or you have quite a few different utility creatures. Um, or the mystical tutor is good is, say you end up with your Isochron Scepter in hand, you go and get your dramatic reversal, or you need your removal, you go get that.
Mm-hmm.
So while they might not be, they are definitely playing the role more of good stuff cards. They still have their uses in the deck.
I thought I had enough artifact. Uh,
Yeah, I think you
thought I
have
had
enough
a. I
artifacts.
thought I had a decent amount of artifact searching with Trinket Mage, Inventor's Fair.
I believe you do.
Let's
But
let's
this is
grab a
what
life. Let's put in a life from the loam. An Academy Ruins. EM.
Yep.
Or did already was he already in here?
Nope. It went
Uh,
in as because it was reprinted. Let me go and switch it.
yeah, it had a. That's why I thought it was weird. It had a.
It was reprinted in the Tomb Raider set.
Oh,
So
was it Tomb Raider? Yeah, then yeah. I just didn't recognize the name. I'm like,
yeah.
So
So
we'll probably cut a couple basics,
oh
but
yeah,
we'll worry about that in a second. Where am I at card wise?
you're at 91 currently.
Ooh, jeez. Let's throw in a crop rotation. I don't see a Misty Rainforest in there.
We did not put a Mystery Rainforest in because that's a fetch land, and we didn't talk
Yeah,
about fetch lands.
they're not banned yet. I'm just thinking of lands that I can get back with Life from the Loam.
Yep. Uh, Vexing Puzzle Box has silly number requirements synergy. Vexing Puzzle Box is the one that you can go and, well, the one that you roll. You tap it, roll a d20, and then you add that many counters onto it equal to the number you rolled. And that's actually whenever you roll dice that happens. And then you tap it and remove 100 counters from it, and you can search your library for an artifact card. So it acts as a mana rock. It's a 3 mana rock.
Does it come in, does it put it into play, or does it just
It puts it onto the battlefield.
That's not bad. Let's put on Staff of Completion though.
Frank, you do need 100 counters on it, but with stuff like Vorinclex and being able to untap it and retap, you do have that ability.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew you said you wanted to come back to doubling season later. We're at later. How do you feel about
I hate it, but it's so good.
it? Do you want to add it or leave it off?
How am I on 5 mana spells? I feel like I'm very 5 mana heavy.
You're actually not. You have 3 permanents with mana value 5. You are actually, most of your permanents are 3 mana, and you're really heavy in the 1 to 3 range. You
Which
have
is
a hard drop
which is
off
where
after 3.
which is where I want to be.
Yeah. So yeah, you have a hard drop off after 3, where you have 12 permanents. I'm sorry. You have a total of 16 cards, 12 permanents, 4 spells that are 3 mana. Uh, you have less than that. You have a total of 10 total that are more than that.
Fair enough. Let's add an Arbor Elf
Okay.
and a Sorry, I'm just gonna add more low stuff. Yeah, but like Awake in the Woods, they count as a 2 mana spell. But if I ever count that for 2 mana, just punch me in the face.
Well, if you ever are you really going to cast it for 5 though? You're probably going to go wait to cast it for bigger.
Yeah. It's just I always remember that all the X spells are useless until you're they all
Well,
come in at 2, but
but you only have that in Hydroid Crisis currently.
oh okay.
Oh no, in Green Suns, but Green Suns that shuffles
Pretend
back
there's
in.
one.
Yeah, and that shuffles back in, and come on, a lot of times that's going to go in. That
Are
could
you
just go
kidding?
super
First
zero.
turn play a lot of the time is Green Sun Zenith for Dryad
Yeah,
Arbor.
right.
I mean, I've never done that in my commander decks ever.
Never, ever. Who would ever do that?
Yeah, no, Power Artifact could be really cool. I remember when I had 4 and then my cards got stolen.
Yeah, Power Artifact is actually a card that I think is overrated.
It's not. It's really good.
It's just because of how niche it is. I used to actually have an Urza CDH deck that I did not run Power Artifact in because I didn't think it was good enough.
That's that's fair. I just don't run it because I don't have a $200 card anymore, and it annoys me whenever I see it because of memories.
That was a pre-kids deck, so that's when I was willing to spend money on cards.
Ooh, pre-kids.
Yeah,
Wow.
I still spend money on cards, but I
Yeah.
give a lot more thought to it than now.
I think I spent about $500 on cards last year. Most of that was Lorcana. No, I think I spent more than that. I have to go to my budget, but it's not by much. I haven't played that much, and so
I went to PAX Unplugged in Philly in December. In that weekend alone, I probably spent twice that much on cards because I wasn't
well,
being sad.
I spent $250 on cards at that. No, that's fair. I spent more than that. I spent $250 to get 2 boxes of Lorcana shipped to me from my friend with all the promos.
Oh yeah, and I bought every single day. I bought a box of Lorcana when I was at Philly.
Yeah, I bought 2 boxes and I was able to get 2 of every promo.
Nice. Actually, Frank mentioned cards, and one of the cards he mentioned, I'll get to what Frank mentioned, but it made me think of a card. The Archdruid's Charm, I think it is the new 3 green.
Oh, that new one. That
Yeah,
thing's rad. I think that's rad.
yeah. It's the 3 green can get a creature or a land,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really good.
or it can exile a target artifact or enchantment.
Which is good because I like having removal.
But what Frank mentioned is Vision Charm and Reality Ripple. Him mentioning
I'm
Vision Charm.
I'm not familiar. Let me Google. Let me look up
Vision Charm.
reality ripple.
Vision Charm is choose one. Target artifact phases out, or put the top 4 cards from target player's library into his or her graveyard, or all lands of one type are basic lands of your choice until end of turn. That's a 1 mana spell that will go and save your Millennium counter if it ever gets targeted.
Yeah. Target artifact, creature or land phases out. It's more protection for the what was the other one? Vision charm?
Yeah. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, and Vision Charm only cares about artifact, but it also has 2 other abilities.
With the vision charm for more protection for my Millennium calendar.
Yeah. Did you want both Vision Charm and Reality Ripple, or just Vision Charm?
No, because I want to because I've got Tamu's safekeeping and I've got a couple of those other 1 mana ones.
Yeah, and Vision Charm is 1 mana as well.
Yeah. No, that baby.
Now, you want to be at 35 lands for this deck, or did you want to be lower? Right now,
I want to be at 35, 36 with the ball again.
okay, so are you gonna? This counts Dryad Arbor as a land in this. Are you gonna count Dryad Arbor as a land?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so let me see. Right now,
So we
you're
could probably get.
leaning heavier green than blue,
Yeah, I
but
figured as much.
you have
Let's
green mana dorks. So do you want to cut two?
actually. I think I've got my dorks are more. I mean, Dire Sage is
Oh, actually,
green.
do you want to cut 2 forests and an island?
I was thinking the other way
2 islands
around,
and a forest.
but
That's good. Fine with me.
yeah.
1 forest and 2 islands. The only reason why I was thinking the other way is because you did have the green mana dorks, but you also have the Yavimaya Cradle of Growth.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. And I've got the crop rotation. I've got ways to get it out, but
Yeah. Um,
I think I'm gonna be more annoyed if I get green. If I get green, yeah, flooded.
yeah.
I mean, screwed.
So, a couple other things that were mentioned. Pemenzura for the commander.
I
And
thought about it, but I didn't want to run both Freed from the Real and Pendants. Was all it really came down
yeah.
to.
And how do you feel about poison?
I'm not a fan.
Okay, these are like poison enablers for Vorel to double up on. Of course.
No, I know. It's definitely a thing, but it's not something I want to deal.
Well,
It's
Vorel can't double up
with
on can't double the poison counters anyway.
yeah. Also, without knowing your group, you kind of don't want to. You don't want to go point. Like, poison's when you know your group. You know your group.
Yep.
I'm more with guerrilla games. You just kind of just be mean, but not like overwhelmingly mean.
The only other thing that I would say that you might want to kind of look at right now is I know you don't want counter spells, but
We might. I mean, we might as well throw in a couple because I think that'll fill it out. But let's not go like.
I would say, did you want to look at proliferate?
I thought we were pretty good on
Well,
proliferate
the only
stuff.
the only things that you really did that proliferate it, you have evolution stage, Tekethal, and the another card. What's the other card that?
Staff of Completion has it.
Yeah, staff of completion, and but there was one other card that you had that I forget what was the name of it.
Tezzeret's Gambit has it.
No, it was the one that proliferate and the proliferate again.
Contagion Engine.
Contagion engine. There we go.
I think I've got like 6 or 7 proliferators. That
Okay,
feels like a decent amount.
I just wanted to make sure. Um, so what counter spells were you thinking of?
Is it a Swan Song? Because giving friends birds is funny.
So you'd rather like narrow counter spells than just the blanket counter spells.
Yeah. Like I'm not throwing force into I'm not throwing force into negation. I'm not throwing force of will. I'm not throwing counterspell even in there. Um,
Yeah, Frank, we have a few spot removals in Rapid Hybridization, Pongify, Beast Within. We have Cyclonic Rift. We don't really have.
also Spike Weaver and ways to give it counters. I just fog the battle every
Yeah,
time, every combat.
yeah, and Spike Weaver can fog battles there. Um, the Fierce Guardianship falls underneath the Rod.
We might as well throw Fierce Guardianship in
Okay.
because it doesn't actually. It's not a hard. It's a hard. It's not a hard. It's not a. It's not a catch-all.
Well, it's a non-creature, true.
Yeah, it's not a catch-all. And I'm more worried about. Yeah. Hmm. I can't see how many cards are in the deck because your face is blocking
Uh,
it.
we're at 97.
Oh, there it is.
So you have three more cards.
Let me read the new Ozolith.
The new Ozolith is +1/+1
No.
counters for creatures.
Yeah. Wait. I mean, we might as well throw Doubling Season. We got 3 spots: Doubling Season, Branching Evolution, and Hardened Scales. Might as well just finish it off.
So Branching Evolution and Hardened Scales, they only care about +1/+1 counters, right?
hmm
Okay.
But I want to make sure I get +1/+1 counters on Gyre Sage. Oh, let's take out one more Forest.
Okay.
And throw in a Bloom Tender.
Get the Bloom Tender. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see it on there, so I figure we might as well.
Yep. And that puts us at exactly 100.
I think I got a decent amount of dorks.
Any changes that you want to make?
I mean, be dumb, throw in a tropical island. I don't want to do that. I think the lands are okay. Everything feels right. I know I'm forgetting something,
Well,
but I haven't played in so long.
well, and we built it kind of quick. Like we were
Yeah,
talking at the same time, and it still was only an hour and a half for the entire
yeah.
stream so far.
I wouldn't even know. I'm sure people watching are screaming right now that I'm
Yeah.
forgetting something.
So, what do you think of something? If there's anything else you want to change? How about a
What's this?
name for the deck?
Um, I want to make a joke about the 2012 Millennium Calendar.
The 2012 Millennium Calendar?
Yeah,
Well, unless you have a joke, I'm just going to go and put 2012 Millennium Calendar.
go for it.
Bam. See, all these Jibber Jabber with Jarvis deck names are so much better than Jarvis deck names.
Oh, if you check my mock field, all my jokes are puns or something, or song lyrics I think are funny, or just something stupid.
Yep. So, are you happy with where their deck is?
I'm sure. Like I said, I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but this is going to be fun. This would be fun. I think this would be funny to play,
Yeah, it definitely
and
would.
that's the important part for when I'm playing with random people.
Yeah, it has a lot of moving pieces that would be fun to mess around with.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, it, I mean, they're gonna see the Millennium Calendar coming, but it's hoping they won't be able to stop it, or they just think it's funny and they'll just go with it.
yep. Well, I do want to thank you for joining me.
Not a problem.
Anything you want to say to chat and the audience before we go?
Uh, Hi, thanks for watching. Hopefully you had fun. Hopefully I'll do something stupid like this in the future.
Sounds good. Well, I want to thank you again. Uh,
Not a problem.
for everyone that is watching, in the future, there will be in the description of the video, there will be the link to the deck, as well as both my links and Scott's links. Uh,
Both of them.
all of them. Then I will be back next week with next guest. I believe next week I'm going to have JJ Mickey on, if I remember correctly. But thank you again for watching, and have a good one.